Hey everybody. Before I was talking about, addiction, okay? Now let's just say though, maybe you're not addicted to alcohol. But still, from your childhood and, your past, you grew up feeling bad about yourself because, like I said, some of the things that were said you were when you were a child and what society told you should be, you didn't either live up to or disappointed in others. And because you're a child, you're very uh, receptive. You don't have the cognitive ability to discern whether somebody is, you know, you're picking up a belief because you're a child. You don't know any better. And the people that are telling you what to believe in are your parents. So they're like a god. And so you pick up this belief about yourself, especially if your parents don't disapprove in certain things and tell you what you're not and so on. So you grow up, feeling bad about yourself, like what my father did, you're not going to be anything, blah, blah, blah. But let's just say, you're not an addict. You didn't pick up drinking. But because you don't feel good about yourself, and you never really looked into yourself, because it's too painful to look at yourself, especially if you think you're a bad person. You never want to look into yourself. So what you do is you direct all your focus outward. And you start looking at other people. And it's easier to look at somebody else's, what they're doing wrong, than to go inward to see what's going on with you and why you feel bad about yourself. So you start to form this unconscious thing where you're always looking outside of yourself and you're looking at what everybody else is doing wrong. And in a sense, you're doing that and you're focusing on other people so you don't focus on yourself. But you're focusing on these other people and you're putting them down so that you can feel higher about yourself, or better, or smarter, or better looking. And so you start judging all these people. When in reality, to go inward and look at yourself will set you free so that you don't judge yourself and you accept yourself and fully love yourself. And that's your true self. And then when you do that, you don't have to look outward and judge anybody else. Because you know who you are. You don't have to run from yourself anymore.